Welcome, COM 110 class. Welcome to your lecture for week 11, focusing on chapter 13. Let me start by saying that I really like this chapter in our book. I think the authors did a very good job of succinctly outlining what you need to know to do an effective, informative speech. They even refresh your memory on some key points that they made in earlier chapters. I especially appreciate and would point you back to the heading, Use a Clear Organization and Structure. I hope you'll find a quiet corner in an hour to sit down with a highlighter and pen and mark up this chapter. It would be a good chapter, actually, to keep somewhere handy so you can thumb through it when and if you're asked to give a speech at some point in your career. It has some good stuff in there. If you have not read that chapter, please go do it now and then come back and watch this lecture. I'm going to concentrate on just a few parts of the chapter. In my lecture next week, we'll go into a few more of the points that were made there. But this week, we are going to do a quick overview of informative speaking. We're going to talk about how you'll be expected to define your audience in this next speech, and some ways that you can connect to your audience in this upcoming speech. Let's start with what an informative speech is not. It is not a persuasive speech. You are not trying to persuade someone to one side of a controversial topic. You are informing them about something you think is very interesting to you and to them. If you can't argue the other side of the topic you want to present, then you need to pick another topic. Now, that's not to say that you can't choose a controversial or emotional topic. Just make sure you give both sides of the issue. Of course, you don't have to pick an issue. You can pick an interesting topic. I bet your classmates would be interested in a speech on the best way to upload a video to YouTube, or what are the free software options available for converting video so it's more likely to load easily. How about a speech on the company that provides the best cell phone coverage for North Carolina? Or how to cut the cord on your cable TV subscription and still be able to watch the shows you want to see. The last thing your informative speech is not, it is not a mind dump. Don't go find reams of information on your topic and then talk as fast as you can to dump all that information on your listeners. We have enough information out there. We need someone to simplify it for us, tell us what is most interesting about that topic, and then explain why we should even care. In this speech, you will be defining your own audience. In your speech outline, you will state who that audience is and the occasion for the speech. Then you will make obvious attempts to connect with that audience. And you might do this by mentioning the occasion, referring specifically to your audience or someone in your audience, and referring to things your audience would know. Let's talk about an example. Let's say you want to do your informative speech on environmentalism. First of all, you would have to pick a much more specific topic than that. Environmentalism is way too broad a topic for a 4 to 6 minute speech. Then you would consider your audience. For some reason, being environmentally responsible is a controversial topic. People from different parts of the political spectrum view this issue very differently. There's a lot of meaning loaded into that term for people on both sides. So you would want to start your speech in a much different way if you were speaking to a group of environmental activists as opposed to a group of, say, conservative lawmakers. Let's say you decided to narrow down your topic to guerrilla gardening. Now, this is an interesting form of environmental activism that involves people planting gardens in neglected lots that they don't own. So let's say you're talking to your environmental friends. You'll likely start the speech with a statement such as, "Our friends in France have come up with an innovative and interesting way to recycle and reuse, while encouraging the local community to care about their environment." However, if you're talking to a room of conservative lawmakers, you would remember that quite often conservatives in this country are pro-business. They might not like environmental regulations because they think it restricts business unnecessarily. So you might start your speech with that group along these lines. We all know that a healthy community is good for business. Then go into explaining why guerrilla gardening is an innovative and peaceful way to bring about social change and why it can be good for local businesses. So I hope you kind of see the difference. Speaking to your audience. Let me urge you not to wait to start thinking about your last speech. One suggestion, when you're thinking about your topic, think about how you might find a group who would want to listen to your speech. Do you work for a restaurant or a retail store? Ask your boss if you can present a speech about recent trends in customer service, say. Would your neighbors benefit from hearing about how to cut their cable TV bill? Ask if you can do the research and present your speech to them. If you think about research and a speech that would benefit people in your life, you might find it easier to ask them to listen to your speech. Hope you have a great week.